So our player is currently able to move around our environment with a pretty great deal of speed when we're using our sprint. One thing that a lot of games will do to limit the speed at which a player can just blow through a level is they'll add what's called stamina to the player's stats. So we're going to go ahead and do that here. What we will do is we'll open up that player script again, and we're going to scroll up to the top, and we're going to add a float this time, a public float, and we're going to call it stamina. And what we're going to want to do is add a default value of 100 to that. 100 is a pretty standard value. You can set it to whatever you want, but I think 100 works pretty nicely for this. What we're then going to do is scroll down to our conditional statement where we're checking if the player is pressing left shift, and we're setting our run to our speed to our sprint speed. And we're going to say, if we're getting that key and our stamina is currently greater than 0, meaning we have stamina, we are going to set our speed, set the animator, but also we're going to subtract some, we're going to subtract a little bit from that stamina pool. So what we'll say is stamina is minus equals to 20 times time dot delta time. And again, we want to use that delta time because we're in the update function. If we subtract 20 every single frame, we will have 5 frames of speed, which is nowhere near enough. And then what we want to do is in our else statement here at the bottom, we want to give us a little room, and we're going to make another conditional. In a conditional inside a conditional is called a nested conditional. And in this nested conditional, we're going to say if stamina is less than 100, we want to, in our curly brackets, add our 20 times time delta time to our stamina. So this will mean our stamina recharges at the same rate at which we use it when we're sprinting. Now, an important note here is that with time.delta time, that value is constantly changing. We mentioned before how that value is dependent on your machine, on the frame rate that you're getting within the game. So what we want to do here is add an else statement that says, in the case where our stamina is not less than 100, which would mean that it's either equal to or greater than 100, we want to just set stamina to exactly 100. That way we can avoid, sometimes you can add, if you get a weird frame tick or the frame rate kind of changes up on you, sometimes you end up a little bit higher than 100, and we don't want to do that. We want them to be right at 100 when they fully recharge. So that will ensure that we never have our stamina over 100. And then you can go ahead and save that and go ahead and test it, and feel free to mess with this 20 here too. You can set that as low or as high as you want. Obviously you want to keep it less than 100, but yeah, you can mess with that and find a value you like. If you want to see it in action, what you can do is open the project, hit play, but select your TA Knight, and you'll see your stamina field here at the bottom. And while you're playing and you hold shift, you'll see the values dropping there. And when I hit 0, it'll stop. Well, actually, it'll kind of switch back and forth. As you see, it dips below 0 and it slows me down. You can kind of see the animator switching up. But if I let go of shift, it'll just recharge. And then if I hold it again, it'll start going down. If I let go, it'll recharge. So yeah, feel free to play with those values and see if you find something that works at a speed that you feel like more suits your type of game.